Listen. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize something life-changing. Your problems are loud, but your potential is louder. Your pain is heavy, but your power is heavier. And the day you stop feeding your problems and start feeding your growth, everything shifts. People don't succeed because their life is perfect. People succeed because their focus is disciplined. You can either stare at the wall or build a door. You can either complain about the storm or learn how to dance in the rain. You can either obsess about what's broken or become the person who rebuilds it better. Every day life will try to distract you. Someone will upset you. Something will disappoint you. A plan will fail. Your focus, that is yours. And no one, absolutely no one, should have the power to take that from you. When you focus on your problems, you shrink. When you focus on yourself, you rise. Your problems want attention. Your dreams want devotion. Your problems want you to break. Your growth wants you to bloom. Your problems want you to give up. Your purpose wants you to fight. And between the two, you get to choose. You want to change your life, change your focus, shift it from fear to faith, from doubts to discipline, from heartbreak to healing, from what you lost to what you can build. I promise you this, the day you make yourself your priority, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger, sharper, wiser, more courageous. So stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start saying, watch what I become because of this. Focus on your breath. Focus on your growth. Focus on your habits. Focus on your peace. Focus on your future. Focus on the person you are becoming, not the problems that try to break you. Because the world may try to dim your light. But you were born to blind them. Your problems may be loud, but your potential is louder, bigger, deeper, and far more powerful than anything you're scared of right now. The truth is, every single problem in your life knows exactly how to scream. It knows how to catch your attention, how to stress you, how to steal your peace, how to convince you that you're stuck, and how to whisper that you're not capable of rising higher. But remember this, problems only win when you give them the microphone. The moment you mute them and amplify your own strength, the game changes. Your potential has been waiting silently, patiently, watching you fight battles you were never meant to fight alone. And it isn't fragile, it isn't small, it doesn't break. Your potential is the part of you that has survived every storm you thought would destroy you. It's the part of you that keeps waking up no matter how exhausted you feel. It's the part of you that has ideas, dreams, courage, fire, and a hunger for something greater even when everything around you feels dark. Your potential is quiet only because it doesn't need noise to prove itself. But when you choose to focus on it, when you choose to trust it, when you choose to act on it, it becomes louder than any fear, louder than any failure, louder than any chaos life throws at you. The loudness of your problems comes from their immediacy. A heartbreak feels urgent. A financial struggle feels overwhelming. A betrayal feels like it echoes through your entire body. An uncertainty about the future feels like it's shouting non-stop. But none of these moments define you. They feel loud because they want your surrender. They want your attention. They want you to believe that this is the end of your story. But your potential knows better. It knows that every storm is temporary, every setback is a setup, every mistake is a lesson, and every moment of weakness is actually a doorway to strength. It knows that you were built to overcome, not crumble. It knows you were shaped by challenges, not defeated by them. And when you let this part of you take the lead, your entire inner world begins to shift. Think about it. The person you are becoming is stronger than the problem you are facing. You might not feel it yet. You might not see it yet, but it's already happening. Growth doesn't announce itself. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes your potential grows quietly, like roots under the soil. No one sees it, no one celebrates it, but it's happening. And every decision you make to keep moving, every choice to rise instead of retreat, every moment you choose courage instead of comfort, you are feeding your potential, you are making it louder, you are teaching your problems that they cannot control you. Most people allow their problems to become their identity. They talk about them constantly, they replay them in their minds, they relive them in their emotions. They let their problems tell them who they are and what they can or cannot do. But the moment you shift your attention from what's wrong to what's possible, your life takes a turn. Your potential begins to shine. It starts guiding you. Suddenly you're not drowning. You're swimming. You're not fearing the mountain. You're climbing it. You're not losing. You're learning. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it happens the moment you decide that your growth matters more than your doubts. Your problems may try to define you, but your potential is designed to transform you. Problems push you, but potential pulls you. Problems limit you, potential liberates you. Problems make you question who you are, but potential reminds you who you can become, and once you start believing in that version of yourself, the world can no longer intimidate you the same way. You begin to carry yourself differently. You begin to speak differently. You begin to think differently. You start making decisions that align with your future, not your fears. You start letting go of patterns that shrink you. You start choosing people who nourish your spirit. You start saying no without guilt and yes without hesitation. This is what happens when potential becomes louder. And here's the thing. Your potential doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in discomfort, pressure, change, challenge, heartbreak, uncertainty, and transformation. Every overwhelming moment you've survived has added to your strength. Every difficult season has sharpened you. Every painful lesson has carved out wisdom in you. So when problems feel loud, remind yourself they're loud because they're scared. They know what you're capable of. They know what happens when you rise. They know that once you discover your own power, nothing can stop you. They know that your potential, once awakened, becomes unstoppable. Your potential is louder than your problems, not because it shouts, but because it refuses to disappear. It remains even when everything else collapses. It stays when people leave. It grows when life tests you. It shines even when you feel like you're failing. And it waits, always waits, for the moment you choose yourself again. Discipline your focus. It is your strongest weapon, the quiet power that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Anyone can want success, anyone can talk about change, anyone can wish for a better life, but only those who discipline their mind, their attention, and their energy actually reach the places others only imagine. Your focus decides your future. Your focus decides your strength. Your focus decides whether you rise or whether you remain stuck exactly where you are. And the truth is, nothing in this world is harder than training your focus. Not because you're weak, but because distractions are designed to be seductive. Problems are designed to be loud. People are designed to test your patience. And life is designed to pull you in every direction except the one that leads to your growth. Every time you try to focus on your goals, something tries to pull you away. Someone's opinion, someone's drama, someone's expectation, someone's negativity, someone's judgment. All of it tries to steal your attention. And that's why discipline matters. Discipline teaches you to choose what matters over what is easy. It teaches you to say not now to the world and yes to your purpose. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's about showing up on the days you don't feel like it, pushing through when your mind is tired, and refusing to let small things pull you away from big dreams. When your focus is disciplined, you stop reacting to everything. You stop wasting your energy on things that don't matter, and you start protecting your peace like it's your life force. Because it is. Focus is not something you find, it's something you build. It's a skill, a muscle, a habit. And it grows every time you say no to distractions, no to procrastination, no to self-doubt, no to the temporary comfort of staying the same. Discipline sharpens that focus. It takes your attention and directs it towards something that actually creates change. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack focus. They scatter their energy in 1,000 directions and then wonder why nothing in their life moves. But when you discipline your focus, you simplify your life. You start putting your energy where it counts. You begin to see progress. You feel yourself evolving. You stop chasing everything and start building something. When your focus is disciplined, fear loses its power. You don't allow your mind to spiral into overthinking. You don't give unnecessary situations the privilege of distracting you. You stay rooted in your goals. You stay loyal to your growth. And you stay committed to your transformation. You begin to understand that every minute you spend thinking about things that don't matter is a minute stolen from the life you want to build. That's why discipline is a weapon. It protects your time, your energy, your clarity, and your purpose. It helps you see what matters and what doesn't. It helps you ignore noise. It helps you stay consistent. And consistency is what builds success, confidence, and inner strength. There is a version of you that exists on the other side of disciplined focus. A version of you who is unstoppable, sharp, calm, intentional, and grounded. But you can only become that person if you are willing to train your focus like a warrior trains for battle. You need to wake up every day and choose what you give your energy to. You need to pick your battles wisely. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. When something tries to distract you, remind yourself, this is not what I'm building my life for. When someone tries to pull you into chaos, remind yourself, chaos is not my home anymore. When your fears try to whisper doubt, remind yourself, discipline destroys doubt, and discipline is not about harshness, it's about direction. It gives your life movement. It gives your actions meaning. It turns ordinary days into building blocks of the life you want. Discipline is showing up when no one claps, working when no one watches, believing when no one understands, and pushing forward when no one expects you to. It's the inner voice that says, stay focused, stay consistent, stay committed, your time is coming. It's the power that helps you rise above laziness, comfort, excuses, and temporary temptations. It's the voice that keeps you walking when your mind wants to sit down, keeps you practicing when you feel behind, keeps you fighting when everything in you wants to give up. When you discipline your focus, you stop comparing your journey to others. You stop measuring your life by someone else's timeline. You stop feeling threatened by other people's success. Instead, you learn to stay focused on your own lane, your own pace, your own growth. You become so locked into your purpose that nothing outside of it can shake you. You begin to glow differently. You begin to walk differently. You begin to speak differently because you're not living for the world anymore. You're living for your goals, your peace, your purpose, and your future. That is the real power of disciplined focus. It transforms your mind, shapes your character, builds your strength, and takes you to a life where average people cannot reach. You can choose to build your life instead of staring at what's broken. This is not just a statement. It is a principle that separates those who remain stuck in despair from those who rise, shine, and conquer. Life will always have broken pieces. There will always be mistakes, regrets, disappointments, heartbreaks, failures, and moments that feel unfair, cruel, or heavy beyond your capacity to bear. It is a natural part of being human. Problems, setbacks, and losses will appear like shadows, trying to darken your path, trying to convince you that the world is against you and that you will never be able to rise above your circumstances. But here's the truth. Those broken pieces, those moments that feel like they define you, they only have power if you give it to them. Every moment you stare at what is broken, you are giving your energy to something that cannot build you. You are feeding fear, doubt, regret, and stagnation instead of feeding courage, action, growth, and transformation. You have a choice. The choice to invest your energy where it counts, the choice to stop reliving every problem and start creating every solution. Building your life requires vision, and vision requires courage. It means you are willing to look at the mess, the pain, and the chaos and say, this is not my prison, this is my material to create something better. Every person who has achieved greatness, every person who has transformed their life has done this. They refuse to let broken circumstances dictate their future. They refuse to allow broken people, broken plans, or broken dreams to steal their attention. They took the pieces that the world might have discarded, the moments that seemed like failures, the experiences that others call mistakes, and they used them to construct a life that was not just functional but extraordinary. And the beauty of this principle is that it does not require perfection. It does not require that all your brokenness disappears before you can start. You start exactly where you are, with exactly what you have, with exactly what seems broken, and you begin to build. To build your life means to take control. It means to stop blaming external circumstances, other people, or the past for your current unhappiness. It means taking full responsibility for your growth, your energy, and your actions. You begin to understand that the world will never hand you a perfect life. No one will fix your problems for you. Waiting for things to be right is a trap. Waiting for the perfect moment is a lie. The perfect moment is now. The tools you have to build your life exist within you. Your mind, your courage, your persistence, your discipline, your focus, your heart, and your vision. Every day you invest in these tools, you construct the life you want, brick by brick. The choice to build rather than stare is a daily choice, sometimes moment by moment. And the more you practice it, the stronger you become, the sharper you become, the more unstoppable your life becomes. Staring at what's broken is easy. It gives a false sense of control, because when you focus on the problem, you feel like you're doing something, like you're paying attention, like you're trying. But that is illusion. The more you stare, the more stagnant you become. Problems are magnets for negativity, and the longer you dwell on them, the more they pull you down. But building requires movement, it requires action, it requires courage to step into the unknown and craft a life that is not defined by the broken pieces, but by the masterpiece you are creating. It means investing time in learning, growing, healing, and evolving. It means choosing vision over fear, progress over regret, creation over destruction. And when you make this choice consistently, life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something that happens because of you. You begin to lead your life rather than react to it. You begin to write your story rather than let circumstances dictate it. Building your life also requires patience, because what you construct doesn't happen overnight. It requires persistence, because the old habits, old wounds, and old doubts will continue to whisper and try to pull you back into staring at the broken. But every time you choose to act, to create, to innovate, to move forward despite the brokenness, you strengthen your inner power. You begin to see possibilities where once there was despair. You begin to see hope where once there was hopelessness. You begin to see opportunity where once there was only loss. And slowly, day by day, choice by choice, you become the architect of your destiny, shaping a life that is not a reflection of what went wrong, but a testimony of what you were brave enough to build. Remember, life is always under construction, and the sooner you realize that the broken pieces are raw material and not roadblocks, the sooner you unlock the power within you. You do not need to wait for perfection. You do not need to wait for approval. You do not need to wait for someone to rescue you. You have everything you need right now. You have resilience, creativity, intelligence, and heart. You have the ability to learn from every failure, adapt from every challenge, and rise from every fall. You have the strength to take pieces of brokenness and create beauty, success, and fulfillment. Building your life is the conscious act of choosing creation over reaction, progress over stagnation, courage over fear, and growth over despair. When you truly embrace the mindset of building rather than staring, you start to see life differently. You stop fearing failure, because failure becomes a tool, a lesson, a guide. You stop comparing your journey to others, because your path becomes unique, intentional, and self-directed. You stop letting other people's negativity dictate your energy, because your focus becomes rooted in construction, not destruction. And slowly but surely, your inner world becomes aligned with your outer reality, your vision begins to manifest, and you realize that life is not about what is broken. It is about what you dare to build from the broken. You can choose to build. You can choose to create. You can choose to rise. You can choose to transform. Every moment you make this choice, every day you commit to building instead of staring, you are stepping into your power. You are turning pain into purpose, struggle into strength, loss into lessons, and chaos into clarity. Your life becomes a testament to your courage, your intelligence, your determination, and your resilience, and nothing can take that away from you. Life will always disappoint you. That is an unshakable truth. No matter how prepared you are, no matter how careful you plan, no matter how much you work, life has a way of throwing curveballs that feel unfair, cruel, and completely out of your control. People will fail you, situations will betray you, opportunities will slip through your fingers, and plans will collapse in ways you never imagined. Friends may abandon you when you need them most, loved ones may misunderstand you, jobs may fail to fulfill you, and dreams that once seemed tangible may suddenly feel distant and impossible. Life has this unpredictable rhythm, a way of testing your patience, resilience, and your ability to adapt. It is relentless. and disappointment is woven into its very fabric. You cannot escape it, you cannot negotiate with it, and you cannot prevent it from showing up at some point. Yet within this undeniable truth lies a secret that will change everything. You always have a choice about where your energy goes. You may not control the events around you, but you always control your response to them. Energy is the currency of your life. Every thought, every action, every focus, and every emotion consumes energy. You can pour that energy into anger, resentment, blame, and regret, allowing life's disappointments to define your mood, your decisions, and your identity. Or you can choose to invest it into growth, learning, resilience, creativity, and the pursuit of your dreams. When life disappoints you, your energy can either be your prison or your power. Most people fall into the trap of giving their energy to the things that don't deserve it. They replay hurts in their mind, obsess over failures, and let bitterness take root. But every second spent feeding disappointment is a second lost from building the life you want. Your energy is precious. It is the most powerful tool you have to shape your reality, and how you use it determines not just the quality of your day, but the trajectory of your entire life. When life disappoints you, the first step is awareness. Recognize that the external world will always be imperfect. People will fail to meet your expectations. Plans will not always work out. Opportunities will be delayed or lost. But the key is in recognizing that disappointment is not the enemy. Mismanagement of your energy is. Disappointment is temporary, but the energy you spend reacting to it can become permanent damage to your confidence, your peace, and your ability to move forward. The moment you become aware of this, you unlock freedom. Freedom to respond differently. Freedom to choose where your energy flows. Freedom to refuse to be controlled by life's unpredictability. Your energy is your responsibility. When life disappoints you, it is tempting to react impulsively. You may lash out, complain, or withdraw. You may obsess over what went wrong, who was at fault, or how unfair it all feels. And while these reactions are human, they are also draining. They consume your energy without providing solutions or growth. Instead, choose to channel that energy into reflection, learning, problem solving, and action. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation make me stronger? Where can I redirect my focus to create positive outcomes? Shifting your energy from reaction to creation is not always easy, but it is the essence of mastery over your own life. It is the difference between being a victim of circumstances and being the architect of your future. Energy flows where your attention goes. If you pay attention to disappointment, pain, and frustration, that is exactly where your energy will flow. But if you intentionally direct your attention towards solutions, growth, and opportunities, your energy begins to work for you instead of against you. This is why resilient people succeed even in the face of repeated setbacks. They understand that life will always disappoint them, but they refuse to let it dictate the quality of their focus, the direction of their effort, or the strength of their spirit. They have trained themselves to use their energy as a compass rather than letting life's storms push them off course. They conserve it, they protect it, and they deploy it strategically to areas that actually yield results. Life's disappointments are inevitable, but they do not have to be paralyzing. You decide whether a failure will crush you or teach you. You decide whether a betrayal will harden your heart or strengthen your boundaries. You decide whether a lost opportunity will leave you defeated or motivate you to work smarter, think creatively, and persevere with greater determination. You decide whether a moment of heartbreak will consume months of energy or be used to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Every time you take responsibility for where your energy goes, you reclaim control over your life, regardless of the circumstances. The people who thrive in life are not the ones who experience less disappointment. They are the ones who have mastered their energy. They have learned that disappointment is a part of life, but giving it power over them is optional. They maintain focus, channel their energy into meaningful action, and refuse to let life's unpredictability steal their peace. Every day they choose to invest energy in creativity, growth, relationships that nourish them, goals that excite them, and habits that strengthen them. They understand that energy is finite, and how they use it defines who they become. Ultimately, the decision of where your energy goes is the single most powerful act of self-mastery. Life may knock you down, betray you, and disappoint you, but your energy is yours to manage. You can spend it on fear, frustration, and resentment, or you can spend it on focus, courage, and growth. This choice determines whether life shapes you or you shape life. It is not always easy because human emotions are strong and the temptation to dwell on hurt is constant. But with awareness, intention and discipline, you can reclaim your energy every single time. You can choose to rise above disappointment, to act with purpose, to build, to grow, and to transform challenges into opportunities. You can decide that life's unpredictability will not define you, because how you channel your energy always defines the trajectory of your existence. Focusing on yourself makes you stronger, not selfish. This is a lesson most people struggle to understand because society often equates self-focus with self-centeredness, greed, or arrogance, but nothing could be further from the truth. Focusing on yourself is not about ignoring others or disregarding the needs of the people around you. It is about recognizing that you are the foundation of everything you do. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead others, support others, love others, or inspire others if your own energy, clarity, and strength are depleted. When you invest in yourself, when you give yourself time, attention, and care, you are not being selfish. You are preparing yourself to be the strongest, most capable version of yourself, which benefits not just you, but everyone in your life. When you focus on yourself, you are cultivating your mental, emotional, and physical strength. You are building resilience to withstand challenges, clarity to make better decisions, and confidence to act decisively. People often misunderstand this process because they see self-focus as indulgence, as pampering, or as retreating from responsibility. But true self-focus is discipline. It is the commitment to prioritize growth over distraction, action over stagnation, and wisdom over impulse. It is the daily practice of showing up for yourself, understanding your needs, and taking steps that align with your highest potential. Focusing on yourself is about understanding that your mind, body, and spirit need nourishment, attention, and care to function optimally, and that nothing in life will operate at its best if you neglect this truth. Many people feel guilty for focusing on themselves, especially when others demand their time, energy, or approval. They think that taking care of their own growth somehow diminishes their love, support, or attention for others. The reality is the opposite. When you are stronger, clearer, and more aligned, you can give more, not less. You can be more present with friends, more supportive with family, more effective at work, and more compassionate in relationships. Your capacity to love, to teach, to lead, and to inspire expands exponentially when you are centered. Neglecting yourself does not make others happier or life easier. It only makes you exhausted, resentful, and reactive. Strength comes from focus, and focus comes from giving yourself permission to invest in your own growth, development, and well-being. Focusing on yourself also creates boundaries, which are essential for strength. Boundaries are often misunderstood as coldness or selfishness, but in truth, they are a declaration of self-respect. They are the line that separates what nourishes you from what drains you, what elevates you from what diminishes you, and what aligns with your purpose from what distracts you. People who have mastered self-focus do not feel guilty for saying no when something or someone compromises their growth. They understand that protecting their energy is not arrogance, it is strength. Without boundaries, your focus is diluted, your energy is scattered, and your potential is compromised. With boundaries, you honor yourself, and you honor the people around you by showing up as your best, most authentic and capable self. Self-focus is also the foundation for self-awareness. When you pay attention to your needs, your emotions, your desires, and your goals, you develop clarity about what truly matters. You learn to recognize patterns that do not serve you, habits that limit you, and beliefs that hold you back. You gain insight into your strengths, your weaknesses, and the areas where you can grow. This self-awareness empowers you to make intentional choices instead of reacting impulsively to external pressures or the opinions of others. When you focus on yourself, you stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. You stop seeking validation from the world and start trusting your own inner guidance. This self-trust is one of the strongest forms of strength because it allows you to navigate life's challenges with confidence, courage, and conviction. Focusing on yourself also fuels your personal vision and purpose. You begin to understand what you truly want in life, what you are willing to fight for, and what your unique contribution to the world can be. This clarity allows you to act with purpose rather than drift aimlessly. When your energy is directed toward your growth, skills, goals, and dreams, you create momentum that attracts opportunities, resources, and people aligned with your vision. You become magnetic, not because you seek attention, but because your focus and energy radiate power, passion, and direction. People are drawn to strength, not neediness, to clarity, not confusion, to action, not stagnation. When you focus on yourself, you embody these qualities naturally, and this is far from selfish. It is powerful and influential. Furthermore, focusing on yourself strengthens your emotional intelligence. It allows you to understand your emotions, regulate your reactions, and respond with composure, empathy, and wisdom. It helps you process challenges with clarity rather than impulsivity, manage relationships with maturity rather than dependency, and face setbacks with resilience rather than despair. People who neglect themselves often react in ways that are chaotic, reactive, or drained, which negatively affects everyone around them. When you focus on yourself, you are not withdrawing from the world. You are preparing yourself to engage with it more effectively, more compassionately, and more impactfully. Ultimately, focusing on yourself is an act of courage and strength. It requires self-discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to stand apart from societal expectations that misunderstand the concept of self-care. It requires patience, persistence, and the wisdom to recognize that growth is a journey, not a destination, and the strength you build through self-focus does not isolate you, it elevates you. It makes you a source of stability in chaos, a source of inspiration in struggle, and a source of guidance in uncertainty. Strength derived from self-focus empowers you to live intentionally, love authentically, act decisively, and impact the world positively, proving that focusing on yourself is never selfish. It is the foundation of your power, your influence, and your legacy. So now as you sit here listening, I want you to truly feel this. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to it. You have everything you need within you to rise above, to overcome, to shine, and to create a life that others can only dream of. The challenges, the setbacks, the heartbreaks, the betrayals, they are not there to stop you. They are there to awaken you. Every disappointment, every failure, every no that life hands you is a lesson, a nudge, a push toward your highest potential. And the truth is, the moment you decide to stop focusing on your problems and start focusing on yourself, you become unstoppable. Remember, you are not defined by your past, your mistakes, or your circumstances. You are defined by your courage to stand up every time you fall, by your determination to keep going when the world tells you to stop, and by your vision to create the life you deserve. Never let anyone make you feel small for investing in yourself. Never apologize for wanting more, for dreaming bigger, for being stronger. Because as the famous words go, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise, the negativity, or the chaos pull you away from the path that leads to your growth, your purpose, and your destiny. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who have never faced failure. They are the ones who have faced it, embraced it, and used it to fuel their journey. The most powerful lives are not the ones free from challenges. They are the ones where every challenge has been a stepping stone, every heartbreak a lesson, and every disappointment a call to rise higher. Focus on yourself, trust your journey, and never ever underestimate the fire that burns within you. Because that fire, when fueled with discipline, clarity, and relentless focus, can light up not only your world, but the world of everyone around you. You see, nothing great ever comes from staying comfortable. Nothing extraordinary is ever built by staying small. You must dare to dream, dare to step into your power, and dare to put yourself first, not because the world told you to, but because your potential demands it. You have the ability to transform every tear into wisdom, every pain into strength, and every fear into courage. You have the power to rise, not just survive, but thrive. And as one of the greatest motivational truths reminds us, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. This is your moment. This is your life. And you have a choice. You can either let your problems control your story, or you can take the pen and write your own chapter of greatness. You can choose to focus on fear, on doubt, on the noise that wants to pull you down, or you can choose to focus on your growth, your vision, your purpose, and the incredible person you are capable of becoming. The choice is yours. And let me tell you this, when you start putting yourself first, when you start prioritizing your dreams, your health, your clarity, your energy, the world will start bending toward your will. Doors will open, opportunities will appear, and people who are meant to be in your life will gravitate toward your light. So rise up with courage, stand tall with confidence, walk boldly with clarity, protect your peace, fuel your focus, and invest in yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does. Be relentless, be fearless, be unapologetic in your pursuit of the person you are meant to be. And never forget, as one famous quote says, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Within you lies strength, power, potential, and brilliance beyond measure. The choice to focus on yourself, to rise above your problems, to harness your energy, and to build your life intentionally is the choice that will transform everything. You are capable, you are deserving, and you are unstoppable. Your journey is waiting. Your destiny is calling, and the only thing standing between you and the life of your dreams is the decision to focus, to act, and to believe in yourself with unwavering faith.